Once upon a time, Alien was the gold standard of science fiction horror. It started in 1979 with Ridley Scott's masterpiece, a slow-burn space horror that gave us a terrifying new kind of monster and one of the greatest female protagonists in cinema history, Ellen Ripley. The film didn't over-explain the alien. It didn't give us a ton of backstory. It just threw us into the middle of the unknown, and it worked. It was iconic, original, and genuinely scary. Then James Cameron came in with Aliens in 1986 and completely flipped the script. This was no longer a slow horror. It was action, adrenaline, and Marines with pulse rifles. Yet somehow, it still felt like Alien. It expanded the universe without cheapening the mystery. It gave us deeper characters, gave Ripley new layers, but respected what came before while pushing the franchise forward. But then came Alien 3 in 1992, and this is where things started to get complicated. The film was a critical punching bag at the time. People hated the death of Hicks and Newt. Fans were angry. The tone was bleak. It was a completely tonal shift. But now, over 30 years later, Alien 3 has been reassessed, especially the extended assembly cut. It dared to do something different. It was dark, philosophical, and emotionally heavy. It gave Ripley a proper end, one that completed her arc in a way that felt meaningful. It didn't try to please everyone, and for that, it aged like fine wine. And then the studio just didn't know when to stop. Hey everybody, welcome back. Let's talk about Ripley, because she was the emotional center of the entire franchise. From a terrified crew member in Alien, to a warrior mother in Aliens, to a tragic figure in Alien 3 who sacrifices herself to stop a monster once and for all. Her arc was complete. There was no need to bring her back, no need to resurrect her. Literally. But that's exactly what happened in Alien Resurrection in 1997. Now look, Resurrection is not a perfect movie by any stretch. The tone is uneven, the characters are strange. It sometimes feels like a parody of its own franchise. But here's the thing. At least it had some personality. At least it tried something stylistically bold. It was weird, yeah. But in a way, that still felt like a movie made by a human being, not a corporate algorithm. More importantly, Resurrection was the last time the franchise actually moved forward. It attempted to continue the timeline, not go backward like every film and series that followed. And that's where the real problems began. Instead of asking, what happens next? The creators started asking, what happened before? And that one question has slowly killed this franchise. Enter Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Now I get it. Ridley Scott wanted to make something more philosophical, more mythological. But those movies forgot the one thing that made Alien work. The mystery. When you start explaining where the aliens come from, who made them, what their creator's creator wanted, you lose the terror. The unknown is what made the xenomorph iconic. It was Lovecraftian. It was beyond human understanding. The minute you put a spotlight on it and go, actually it was made by a robot with daddy issues, you take the wind right out of the horror. It becomes just another science fiction project gone wrong. Even worse, we already know where the timeline is headed. There's no tension. The heroes can't win, because we've already seen what happens later. That makes the entire story feel flat. You're just filling in gaps that didn't need filling. It's like watching a magician show you how all the tricks work. Impressive? Maybe. Scary? Not really. And that brings us to Alien Romulus, the prequel that supposedly went back to the roots. Actually, let me translate that. It was recycling everything we'd already seen, and hoping nostalgia would do all the heavy lifting. Let's be clear. It lifted entire scenes and ideas directly from Alien and Aliens, and slapped on some new characters you'd forget 5 minutes after the credits rolled. It looked like a fan-made remix rather than a bold new entry in the franchise. And of course, like The Force Awakens, the critics ate it all up. It's a return to form, they say. Yeah, so was microwave pizza the night after a party. Doesn't mean it's good, it just reminds you of a better time. And just like The Force Awakens, that praise is dangerous. It rewards safety. It tells studios, Don't bother being original. Just make something that looks and sounds like the old stuff. And the cycle of mediocrity continues.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Get away from her. You bitch.
This isn't creativity, it's copy-paste filmmaking, and it's killing what little soul the franchise has left. Now, as if Romulus wasn't insulting enough, we've got Alien Earth on the way, a TV series set before the 1979 film, where the aliens apparently reach Earth. Let me repeat that. Before Ripley even boards the Nostromo, xenomorphs have already made it to Earth. That right there, that's timeline genocide.
Did IQs just drop sharply while I was away?
If the alien has already been on Earth, then the entire plot of Alien, Aliens, and even Resurrection becomes irrelevant. Ripley's fight to prevent the alien from reaching Earth was pointless. Weyland-Yutani's obsession with capturing a specimen? Pointless. Her sacrifice? Absolutely meaningless. It's the storytelling equivalent of building a house and then setting fire to the foundation so you can put a trampoline underneath it. It doesn't work. It never works. Alien Earth doesn't just break continuity, it spits in the face of everything that made the original movies matter. So the question is, why won't they just continue the timeline past Resurrection? What's with all these prequels? It's been over 25 years. The world has changed. Science fiction has evolved. You're telling me that there's nothing worth exploring in a post-Ripley future? Nothing interesting to say about a world that's already seen what these creatures can do? Here's the thing. Studios are scared. Moving forward means taking risks, building new characters, investing in original stories. They don't want that. They want low risk, high reward nostalgia bait. At audiences, we keep letting them, but there's so much potential in this universe. The galaxy could be in chaos. New corporations could be fighting over xenomorph DNA, human colonies experimenting on them, anti-alien resistance groups, a future where humanity knows the monster and fears it, but still tries to profit from it. Now that would be interesting. Instead, we get the same recycled corridors, the same facehuggers, the same chest bursters, just with younger actors and slightly shinier CGI. The Alien franchise deserved better than this. Ripley's legacy deserved better. The fans deserved better. But instead, we're trapped in a never-ending loop of prequels, retcons, and lazy reboots, all dressed up to look like tributes, but really just shallow cash-ins. Alien is dead. Not because time killed it, but because the people in charge dug up its corpse, slapped on a fresh coat of paint, and paraded it around like it's still alive. Maybe it's time we stop pretending. Maybe it's time we let this franchise die with dignity.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Anyway, what do you think? Did you think Romulus was overrated? Are you looking forward to Alien Earth? Or are you ready to just move on? Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Share this video out there, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.